Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Camp Cretaceous Season 4. Just a spoiler warning, this will have spoilers for Season 4 as this is like a spoiler review and analysis, and probably 1 third of 3 seasons as well. Right off the bat, I think that this season has jam-packed so much into the first half of this season, and it has way too much information in the first like 5-6 episodes, and I will be rating these episodes out of mosasaurs. Alright, starting off with episode 1, I'm giving this a 2 out of 5 mosasaurs, just because the vibes are off in this first episode. We're first reintroduced to the characters on the yacht. They're finally off the island, they're celebrating. And the cliffhanger that we got at the end of season 3, all hyped up. It was just for a compy. Why? It just doesn't make any sense to me, and I completely hated that, except the compy chase. That was pretty funny. Ben and putting a bucket on Darius's head. I forget which characters. I've wrote the notes for this a month ago. I do just want to know where Ben, or how Ben got those grubs onto the yacht, especially without anyone seeing. An honorable mention is Yaz saying that she watched this shark movie that really messed her up for life. I love the Steven Spielberg movie references, and I do agree with her because that movie did mess me up for life as well, along with E.T. 0 out of 10 for the Brooklyn and Kenji staring back and forth sort of thing. Now to complete the entire episode, the mosasaur, same thing. This entirely doesn't make any sense. Where did the mosasaurus go after capsizing the yacht? How did the kids not get eaten by, like, the plot armor in this? Jeez. It doesn't make any sense that the kids are not dead, basically. But we are introduced to a new island, which is fairly interesting. Maybe the island is introduced to us in Jurassic World Dominion, but it doesn't really make sense to introduce a new island this far into the series franchise. Yeah. On to episode 2, 1 out of 5 mosasaurs. A lot of this episode was so unnecessary. Lots of plot armor, lots of Brooklyn and Kenji. Most of the first bit of this season is Brooklyn and Kenji. This entire thing is the Brooklyn and Kenji show. They somehow took over the entire series. Although it does make sense that Kenji will need some sort of anchor to the group to don't join the dark side from the plot twist at the end of this season. About episode 2, I do enjoy Ben's further character development, because his major character arc was originally being on Island Nublar, and his whole thing about becoming braver, and last season, season 3, him not wanting to leave the island because that's when he discovered himself. And him becoming a new Ben is just so adorable. Ben is my favorite character by far, but he just doesn't have enough screen time in this season, and that makes me so mad. Honorable mention again in this episode, 10 out of 10 for the camp fam screaming into the abyss and then passing out immediately in the next scene. What obviously everyone else has been talking about as well is the saber-tooth, and how that whole thing has randomly come into play in this franchise, and what place this could possibly be in Jurassic World Dominion. I personally think it was kind of more of it was very much out of place, in my opinion. Episode 3. 3 out of 5 mosasaurs for episode 3. This episode scored a little bit higher than the other 2 episodes so far, just because there are little moments in this that really make it about the camp fam and what I love. I do love Dr. May Turner. We introduced to her character in this episode, and her complete shock that there are random kids on the island, you know, not exactly expecting that. And obviously we start worrying about Yaz, and I do like the implementation of possible PTSD. I dislike this episode because once again, it's the Brooklyn and Kenji show, I don't like that. I hate it so much. Although what I do like is Ben thinking Yaz likes him and then rejecting her, and Yaz being like, yeah, that sucks. We also get introduced to the Brads, which pretty funny name, the Brads, for later down the line Cash, the new character. I think the Brads being introduced to it is way too much for new technology, and it really just needs to die down a little bit. The thing I don't believe is the T-Rexes being from Isla Sorna and all the other dinosaurs that they apparently get from Isla Sorna. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it compared to the rest of the Jurassic Park franchise, it doesn't narratively make sense. The next few episodes score a little bit higher, but not perfect scores, just because of the complete divide between our good old camp fam. I hate all the miscommunication between all of these campers. 4 out of 5 mosasaurs for episode 4. I really enjoy the subplot of Yaz and the PTSD, although it does freak me out every time she doesn't run from the dinosaurs. This does bring me to a good point though. In Jurassic World Dominion, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring up dinos fighting, making them aggravated, those sort of things that we're seeing in Camp Cretaceous season 4. I do enjoy Kenji, Brooklyn, Yaz and Sammy all talking. Does it include Ben? No. All talking about the PTSD and all their trauma from fighting dinosaurs, escaping, surviving, basically. I do like being able to see the reality of their failures. Kenji catching a cold, that went nowhere. Him and that subplot, I don't understand what that was about. It doesn't make any sense. But I do like the whole communication thing with dinosaurs and with Pierce. And that Cash looks like Mark Zuckerberg. Episode 5, 4 out of 5 mosasaurs. I really like this episode for the Yaz and Sammy moments, and they're falling asleep, talking about all the memories they have of back home and talking about what they miss. Darius though really needs to take a chill pill on his main character energy. It's toxic and it's exhausting everybody else. Darius, calm down. What seems to make this season so different is that by this time in the season there seems to be no dinosaur villain. You know, like we had Toro, we had the Scorpius Rex, we had the Indominus Rex. This one has velociraptors, but they're kind of a pathetic, annoying sort of villain antagonist. They have no point, but they do just literally chow down on Dr. May Turner. They're like numb, and somehow she survives. Do I have anything else to say for this episode? I don't think so, except for just reiterating the point that there's so much miscommunication between the camp fam, and that's just not what the series has been about in the past. For episode 6 I gave 5 out of 5 mosasaurs, but all I can find is the camp fam being more together. Everything else is just Kenji and Brooklyn just being irritating and it's too exaggerated, but they are working together, I guess, and this results in Darius giving Yaz a break, and then him being a secret spy for Cash, towards Cash, for the camp fam on Cash. Yep, that makes sense. Darius in episode 6 chooses the phone instead of the dinosaurs, which is surprising. It was surprising to me when he did that, and he called his brother Brandon, which was great, and now he's going to go look for his brother, and that's amazing. That was one of the best endings to an episode ever. They really should have ended the series more like that. Episode 7 gets a 4 out of 5 mosasaurs. This is because Darius, being quick thinker he is, gets in for spying for Cash on Cash. Gosh, you know what I mean. And he thinks fast. He has a big brain in his head. And we find out that Brandon is going after Darius, going to go find him, which is great. But he does say we. So is that Roxy and Dave? I'm honestly not a fan of Brooklyn being in charge of the group. I honestly prefer Darius, obviously Yaz. Yaz is always good, but obviously she's out of the question at the moment. Or Kenji. Kenji's honestly better. Brooklyn isn't really leadership material in my opinion. She's more of a, you know, you have your leader and then you have like a tech whiz on the team that like moves the group forward. Do you know what I mean? Like they get you out of sticky situations. That's Brooklyn's job. The saber-tooth gets eaten by the Spinosaurus in this episode, and honestly, why? What was the point of putting the saber-tooth in and just getting eaten straight up? Episode 8 gets a 1 out of 5 mosasaurs. Why? Brad X's are unnecessary. Kenji confesses his feelings for Brooklyn and its teenage awkwardness. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't like episode 8. Episode 9 gets a 3 out of 5 mosasaurs, specifically for cute dinosaurs. Cute baby dinos, and naming cute baby dinos. And Ben trying to figure out how different dinosaurs act compared to Bumpy. You know, throughout the season we've gotten multiple different lines from Ben talking about Bumpy and him missing Bumpy, you know. And I think that's cute and all, but Ben obviously has to move on. And we see that, and him getting used to the idea of not being on the same island as Bumpy anymore. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with episode 9. You know, on one hand, they have a lot of character development with the dinosaurs, and Sammy with the dinos, Ben with the dinosaurs. Brooklyn and Kenji though, and Yaz and Brooklyn talking about Kenji, I don't agree with, don't like, and that's pretty much what the episode is. That is, except for the crazy dinosaurs being the babies and toddlers they are, let out all the big dinos and almost killed Darius and Cash in the end, because Cash is a coward and puts Darius in front of him. Episode 10 is a little bit jam-packed. I give it a 1 out of 4 mosasaurs just because it's a kid's show and they chipped a baby dinosaur and showed it getting all freaked out. It's a kid's show. I don't understand why you write that in. Ben's PTSD with the pteranodons, it's really sad. It makes me so sad for him. Ben, my favorite character, he's scared. Not to mention in that same sort of event, in that scene when they're being attacked, Kenji? Yeah, Kenji confesses to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn confesses, like, and suddenly it's just, no. You're about to die. So we do have the Sinoceratops. They have Angel, what's the other one? Angel, Rebel, and now Firecracker, because they got Firecracker back. Bumpy's post-credit scene, was it post-credit or end credit scene, ending scene? Oh, Bumpy's gonna come back in the next season, and if she doesn't, I'm gonna be so upset. Honorable mention in episode 10. Can't believe they locked Cash in a cave. That 10 out of 10. Absolutely hilarious. Episode 11, 3 out of 5 mosasaurs. Why only 3, you ask, when there was such a huge plot twist at the end? Well, a lot of this is Kenji and Brooklyn's show once again. I don't like how they portray Darius as clueless to their relationship, and I don't like how Ben is just not given any information on this whatsoever. He's completely out of the loop, and even though it's supposed to be a part of his character, they're also camp fam. There's camp fam divide. I don't enjoy it. I like them all being together, one big happy camp family. But Dr. May Turner does assist getting the chip out of Firecracker's head, which is great. And isn't it just a coincidence that Kenji and Darius just had shields when they didn't know what kind of dinosaurs were going to be in the new biome, and they just happened to be the venom spitting Dilophosauruses. Wow, what a coincidence they have protective armor against that. I was genuinely surprised about the plot twist at the end, being Manticorp's boss being, or CEO being, Kenji's dad. There are clues throughout the seasons, but it was a surprise. I was like genuinely shocked. Overall, this season I have like more like a love-hate relationship, because there is a lot of it about the season that just doesn't feel Camp Cretaceous, doesn't feel Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise-esque, and I think they've gotten away from what it's all meant to be about, and they just jam-packed so much new information into this, and what makes me wonder if maybe they're going to have all of this information Jurassic World Dominion and testing the waters. Overall, this season probably gets a 3 out of 5 mosasaurs altogether. I do love Camp Cretaceous, but this season just was almost a miss. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and my opinions on Camp Cretaceous season 4. If you did like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below any of your own opinions and what you'd like to see me review and analyze next. I will be posting on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays anything to do with films, movies and books, all of that, just so let me know what you want to see in videos in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.